Welcome to another Knit Tea Retreat podcast.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
It's only been, 6 weeks since the last one?
Yeah, think about that.
Something of a record.
Definitely.
On schedule. My goodness.
I know. We are nailing it this month.
Fire.
So I am Zoe. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Pins and Needles UK. I have a podcast of the same name, which is linked down below.
I'm Jennie. I'm all about yarn pretty much everywhere you can find me. Mainly on Instagram and sort of occasionally on Facebook, not very often on Twitter. And I have an Etsy shop where I sell hand-dyed yarn and lots of other things that knitters and crocheters might enjoy.
Indeed.
Yes.
I will put loads of show notes in the drop-down box below with clicky links, so anything we discuss today you can find down there. And also you're going to do a fancy thing where you put the podcast on the website as well.
Yes, which currently is theknittearetreat.wordpress.com.
Yeah.
We may be upgrading the website at some point soon and going proper posh.
Seriously fancy.
But yeah,
for now,
there.
That's where you'll find us. So what we wanted to do this time was just kind of have a halfway through the Renee Callahan Knit Along check-in, really, because there's been quite a lot of activity in the Ravelry group, which has been fabulous. Some really nice works in progress. Melissa's Enzo pullover.
Yeah, she's doing so well with that.
She must be knitting herself into repetitive strain injury. She's going so well.
Is she on Sleeve Island now?
I think she's finished the body, so it might be Sleeve Island indeed. And Kaz and her Angleus Novus, she's done all of the body. I'm not sure of the construction. I don't know if that means she's also done the fronts as well.
And then you go over the shoulders, and then you do the front bit cleverly, and then you do the sleeves.
So maybe she's on Sleeve Island too. Maybe she and Melissa could be drinking margaritas in a hammock together.
I know she's way ahead of me.
Well, I've only done a tiny bit of knitting, but I'm about 50% finished.
So it totally counts.
Yeah, totally counts. Totally counts. Okay, so show us your whip. What's your retreat whip then?
Well, you sprang that on me.
I did. It's the element of surprise.
So quick.
Fear, surprise. What's the other Spanish Inquisition? You know the Spanish Inquisition from... You don't know? Okay. Somebody tell me that you know.
You know I had a deprived childhood.
Monty Python's Flying Circus, right? They did... God, what was the... I'm going to have to cut this whole bit out because I just completely lost my thread. Okay. So show us your whip.
Golly, that was a surprise. I am knitting an Angeles Novus. Have I got the pattern with me? No, but you know...
It's a cardigan.
Yeah. We'll put a picture in somewhere in the website. It's fine. And I've done that much. Doesn't it look beautiful?
Okay, I think it's worth pointing out this cardigan pattern does not have a typical construction method, which is half the joy of the pattern.
Yes, so you knit a shawl first.
Which is this bit.
You put half of the stitches onto hujars.
Waste yarn, which is
That's
by
the
here.
one. Thank you. And then you do clever things to go over the top and around the front. And I don't think I'm giving away much of the pattern if I say that you do clever things.
This is the front.
No, I'm not up to the front yet. I'm.
What are you doing there?
I'm going under the arm.
Oh, round the side
and up the front arm. Look, it's kind of like that, I think.
This is helping.
Well, if you didn't move it, hold it still. Right, so it goes up the back. That's the middle of the back.
Oh, okay.
And then this goes around like that.
So the garter tab cast on for the shawl
is along the bottom.
Is at the base of your spine. Oh, I see. So this is the bottom of it. Right, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And that's the nape of your neck.
Okay.
So you're holding it in the wrong place because that's the neck.
That's the neck.
And then this is like an armhole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
And then it folds
wraps around the front.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is in my own yarn, which is Cuddly DK. It's 100% milliner.
Yeah.
And it's proper lush because it's a heavy DK.
Yes.
So she knits it in
Black Swan
DK.
merino.
But she says it's a heavy DK, so she'd substitute it with an Aran, and this is a heavy DK as well.
I wouldn't say Aran, I'd say worsted.
That's what I meant.
Good. Glad we agree.
Yeah. She said to substitute with a worsted weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I say, this is a heavy DK, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have no idea how far through I am, except that I've done all the funny, lacy,
all the shawl bit thing.
Yeah.
And is it stocking stitch then? Is it for the side panels?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Is it a 3/4 sleeve or a full sleeve?
I think it's 3/4.
Okay, I like a 3/4 sleeve.
I honestly don't remember right now. I know it's not short.
Okay.
And that's as far as it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I know Kaz. Oh, that was the postman. I know Kaz is doing an Angleus Novus.
Yeah, there's a couple of us.
Oh, Hannah's finished hers. Crafty little rat.
So
Hi, Hannah. She's finished
behind.
hers. Oh, I can't remember the yarn she used.
I'm so behind.
Doesn't matter. You've got another couple of months.
No, I don't.
When
A month.
a month
And a bit.
A month and a bit. I've got my laptop here, so I just wanted to check the 20th of July. The knit along runs until.
So I have a month and 12 days.
A month and 12 days. It'll be fine. It's mostly stocking stitch. It'll be fine. Yeah, the rules for the retreat were anybody can take part, not just the retreat attendees.
Yes.
No works in progress, has to be a brand new cast on, any of Renee's pattern, and there'll be one prize. Well, we've got 3 prizes.
Wow.
So there'll be 1 prize for finished object, and there will be 2 prizes for people that made a decent fist of it. Because I think that's nice, because the whole point of these is just to get people chatting and joining in.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily about having a finished item.
We're not being vastly competitive at this point, are we?
But if you do, in any of our knit-alongs, if you do manage to finish something and you wear it to the retreat, you get an extra entry into the door prize raffle.
Whoop, whoop.
But it does mean that obviously you've got until October to finish things off. So
Yeah.
don't panic, basically.
Yes.
And I have to say, it's pretty grey and miserable in Wales. It has been beautiful weather.
I could have
we're
used
chilly.
this today. So actually having a bit of a blanket on my lap.
DK cardigan, always useful in Wales. I'm wearing my fingering one in Jennie's yarn.
My
pavement. And I've got a vest on and I'm chilly.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid I've gone an M&S cardigan because
Can't argue with
it was
M&S.
what was in my bag.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Right, I will show you mine in my Girl Power bag that Jennie made me. Love this.
Well, of course.
Of course.
Quality.
One of the things I like about it is because it's not thick interfacing, I can turn the top down.
And make a knitting basket.
Right, so my knitting time is pretty limited at the moment. So when I was looking for a project for this, I needed something not enormous and not terribly complicated.
Given your success rate at previous knit-alongs.
Yeah, it's not great, I must admit.
So you're already doing better than the last 2.
I must admit, I was very tempted by the Enzo pullover, same as Melissa.
Yeah.
Really nice. And again, interesting construction, a bit like yours.
Isn't it quite similar to the pavement? With the
It's a scoop rather than a boat, and it has a panel of garter down the side seams. Can't remember.
Oh, okay. I just saw the shaped hems at the bottom and thought,
it's
like Zoe's.
Yeah, it has dipped hems. So what I did, I think this is possibly the smallest pattern that Renee has ever published.
She set the bar low.
Really, really low bar for an easy win. So I decided to knit the Christmas Eve Bauble pattern. It's a free pattern, and if you find it on Ravelry, you click the link to download it and it takes you to Renee's blog. It's a blog post. So what I did was I just copied it and pasted it into my own document so I could have it on one sheet. So like I said, it's a free pattern, and it's this bauble here, and you can see nice clear chart. This calls for 3 contrast colours, but when I sat down to do it, I had only 1. And I was sat in this room and my scrap jar was in the next room. So I made the executive decision.
So at the end of a long day, once you're down, you're down.
And I have to say, I struggle. I can pair two colours together. I struggle to know what's going to work with more than that for colour work, if you see what I mean. I didn't want it to come out looking muddy. So, yeah, technically I should have had more colours going across the middle band.
You could have used leftovers from your beach hut socks. Because there's sort of some Christmassy colours in those minis.
Well, I could have done, but they were also in the back room and I was in the front room.
Oh, well, the next one.
Yeah.
Do white with all the others.
I'm definitely going to do more than one. Anyway, let me show you. So, I've just finished the colourwork portion and it looks like a sock toe.
Yeah.
And I'm knitting this on 2.75mm double pointed needles. They're just my Knit Pro Novus. And the yarn, again, is Jennie's leftovers. It's in Cranberry Fizz and the cream is the undyed. And I struggle with DPNs not to get gaps, ladders between my needles. It's never such an issue for me with colourwork because my tension's a bit looser. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Look, no ladders.
How are you going to fill it? Are you going to put a bauble in it? Or
It uses a Christmas bauble. So I need to start doing the decreases now. And you do 10 rows of decreases, put the ball into it, and the last 2 rounds are knitting with the Christmas ball in it. And I've got leftover plastic ones from when the kids were little. So I've got plenty of spares I can use.
Okay. So
yeah, I modified it to have fewer colours, and on the pattern she just has a single loop of yarn as the hanging loop, but I'm going to do an I-cord loop. What?
I just realised that you took her easiest, smallest pattern and then made it easier.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Renee. Your patterns are wonderful, complex items of beauty, and I have the brain capacity of a spoon. So I'm afraid I went for a Christmas ball. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, and it's going to look lovely.
And I tell you, it is perfect for scraps.
Yeah.
And because she gives you the chart, you can absolutely swap out your own design. I think I might do one with little Christmas trees on.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah. So you can just have a bit of fun, So that's my progress. I did post a really, really bad photograph of it in the group as well. So if I get points for participation.
Yeah, if I'm not allowed to get points, you're not allowed to get points. So totally.
So yeah.
Totally done.
So I'm enjoying that. So I might try and finish that tonight, actually. If I'm good and I get all my jobs done today, I'm allowed to drink gin in the bath tonight. But when I've finished drinking gin in the bath, I might finish off my Christmas bauble.
Yeah, friends don't let friends knit after rhubarb gin.
Well, that's why, because I'm on the plain bit now. I wasn't going to attempt colour work whilst half cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
you sure? Okay.
I think that's probably wise. So, prizes for the knit along. Okay, first of all, I did mention this the last time, but the super lovely Emma of Eldenwood Craft very kindly offered us a prize. And she sent it through.
That's so pretty.
And Emma is known for her bags. That's what she does. She has an Etsy shop, and I will link it down below, and I've also included her Instagram handle as well. And she has sent us, or rather sent you, this amazing Foxy project bag. And there's a little...
it's a gorgeous print, isn't
couple of stitch markers on it. And there's some of her details. So it's got like a canvas bottom and foxy print. And I hadn't opened it. Are you ready? Ta-da!
Oh, I like that.
It's got stars on it inside. Yeah, really, really lovely. And it's a good size. I reckon you could get... It's much bigger than a sock size.
Oh yeah, definitely. Large shawl, I'd say.
Yeah, decent shawl. And it's nicely interfaced, so it'll stand up really well. So I think this will be the finished object prize.
Cool.
And because she is super lovely, she also sent in the same parcel presents for Jennie and I. And she sent us each a bee bag. Look at that. And it's got a nice drawstring and it's a sock sack. And I really like the sturdy cords, and I haven't used this yet because I was keeping it nice.
No, I haven't used mine either.
But both bags have got a box bottom as well, so it sits nicely. So thank you
ever so much. Thank you.
I'm going to put something in this later.
That's so kind.
It is. It's lovely, isn't it?
People don't often send me things, you know, like yarn or project bags because they think, oh, I'll make my own, so I don't need them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, I'll make you one. So yes, that was mine, and you can't have it. Do you want to show your prize offering, or are you in the middle of a complicated row? Okay. Fair enough. So this is Jennie's prize donation, and it's a beautiful skein of Happy Owl sock, which is 75/25 BFL and nylon. It's in the colourway Vivid Sunset, and it's 100 grams, 425 metres, 465 yards. It's lovely.
Yeah,
Lots
and I
of
know it
different
says
colours.
sock, but that's because of the nylon content. I say sock on all the ones that have nylon content.
Yeah.
But it's perfectly usable for shawls, etc. as well. I mean, your cardigan, your jumper's got nylon in it.
Yeah.
So officially it's a sock one.
It's a sock weight, I suppose.
Yeah, but no, I say sock because of the nylon, and then the other ones I don't.
Yeah, because you've got Happy Owl that's just BFL, and then you've got Happy Owl sock, which is with nylon.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a lovely skein of yarn up for grabs as well. And then I needed to find a prize to give away as well. And I've given away some of my patterns, and I don't want to keep inflicting my patterns on you. So what I've got is some leftover yarn. Now,
That's not how you sell it. You don't sell it as, I have leftover yarn. You say, I have a matching set.
Well, I didn't want to
balls of yarn.
Okay. I've decided to
Honestly.
donate these two beautiful little balls of yarn. It is Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. So it's a classic Shetland yarn. It's a 2-ply, although it's a fingering weight. And this is the natural colourway, and this is Moorit. And that also has a shade number.
Is it
108.
Is it dyed or is it a natural?
No. They're both undyed.
Okay.
This is called Natural White 104, and this is called Moorit 108.
I get it now.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Shetlands come in different
Yeah.
colours.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought when you said that's natural and that's not. I was like, but isn't that...
Yeah, both undyed.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so I knitted myself a tea cosy out of this yarn.
A beautiful tea.
It is beautiful. I think I wave it around on the previous one of my podcasts.
Yeah, it's been on Instagram as well.
Yeah, that's true. If you're interested, you can have a look on Instagram. And I had, it's a Kate Davis design called Sheep Carousel. And I used less than one ball of each colour. So I had these, and I thought that because it's the Knit Tea Retreat and this is tea cosy yarn, that you might be keen. So yeah, that'll be going into the prize pot as well. And I have to say, this is the first, knitting the tea cosy was the first time I'd used Shetland wool.
Right.
And, you know, it's reasonably thin yarn. It's 4-ply. Keeps my tea warm for literally hours.
Does it?
Yeah.
Your tea doesn't last for literally hours.
It does.
But it lasts as long as you want it to.
Because, you know, I said Jocelyn, my daughter, yesterday rang me in a panic because she'd got on the wrong train and didn't know where she was. So she rang me in a panic saying, Mum, I don't know where I am. And I said, don't worry, just get off at the next station. Give me a ring and tell me where you are and I'll come pick you up. It's no drama. And I had just sat down with a full pot of tea. So I necked the 1 cup and it took me an hour to go pick her up and come back. And it was still hot enough to drink.
Maybe there's Shetland wool in my big blue flask then, and that's why it keeps everything hot.
So yeah. So this is seriously good wool. So yes, that's also the prizes. So I'll take photographs of these. Remind me to put that on my list of things to do. I'll take photographs and I'll add these to...
We have a to-do list.
We have a list. Oh. Yeah, I'll add these to the thread so you can have a look as well. Oh, they're escaping. There we go.
Work in action. There we go.
Work in action.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Done.
Coming up next, just to give you a little bit of a break, when Jennie and I went to Wonderwool back
in April.
Thank you, in April.
Favouriteest show.
Oh, it's our fave show. It really is our fave show.
Yeah.
2 of our tutors were there as well. They had stands. So we went to go and see Jen Best of Beaker Button and Emma Bevan of Folky Felt, and they were kind enough to let us do some interviews with them, weren't they?
Yes, well, you did the interviews, to be fair, because that's your thing.
We all felt a bit funny, didn't we?
Yeah, I think, didn't you feel a bit more relaxed by the time you'd done the last one, though? Because you did a whole range of them while we were there.
Yeah.
The others are all on her own podcast channel. But
I think it's because I've got bought a tripod now, big tall one, rather than having to balance things on top of boxes. And I think I just felt a bit daft because it was a tripod.
I don't know how you felt less daft. Why would you feel more daft with that than holding a selfie stick?
Well, you can be cash with a selfie stick.
Okay.
And I was worried because we use the plug-in microphone. You have to make sure that you don't go too far away from the tripod in case the microphone pings off. It was just several opportunities for things to go hilariously
It was all
wrong.
new with the equipment, wasn't it?
And we were busy. We had a lot, as well as just setting up your stand and selling your yarn. We had a list of things to do on top of that. We were quite busy, so I think I was just a bit sort of, Yeah. Anyway, the point is, I will insert here an interview with Jen and an interview with Emma, and thank you both very much again for letting us have a chat. So this is an opportunity for you to meet a couple of the tutors and see what they get up to. Hi, I've managed to have a little bit of time with Jen Best of Beaker Buttons, and she is a specialist in making Dorset buttons. So she'll be teaching at our retreat in October, and you've kindly spared us a bit of time before we open on Sunday morning. So just in case any of my viewers aren't familiar, give us a quick introduction to you and your craft.
Okay, so Dorset buttons have been around for centuries. They're one of the most famous stitched button. They're made on a ring. They're very, very easy to do, and you can pretty much make them out of anything and use them on pretty much anything. They are buttons, and they do everything from fastening clothing to making pretty designs, all sorts of other stuff. I've been making them since I was about 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, really?
My gran taught me to make them. They originated in Shaftesbury, and Gran was part of Shaftesbury WI. So when the Industrial Revolution killed the industry off, it was kept going by various people, and she was sort of one of those people. So,
Fantastic. So it's part of your family heritage as well?
Yeah, I mean, along with everything else, knitting, crochet, all the other stuff I do, pretty much learnt from Gran. But buttons were the thing that I fell madly in love with. So.
And that's what you based your business around?
Yeah. So I have a shop that does all sorts of fibercraft stuff, and everybody who comes in the shop learns about Dorset buttons, whether they want to or not.
Do you have a bricks and mortar shop?
Physical bricks and mortar.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're in Andover, which is just the other side of Way Hill, rather, just the other side of Andover.
Okay, so you do these shows as well?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I do a lot of teaching and classes and things.
Yeah.
So anything to kind of get Dorset buttons out there, really.
So are you going straight back to work Monday, or do you get a day off?
Tuesday. Monday off, although I've got articles to write on Monday because I do articles for magazines and things as well.
Oh,
little magazines that nobody hears about, so you won't have heard of me.
Well, this is your opportunity. Which magazines do you write for?
Various different ones, but the one I'm writing for tomorrow is Sew Magazine, which is part of the Embroiderers Guild.
Okay.
Because I joined that last year, and again, the buttons work really well with embroidery, so I can combine the two together. And
that's fantastic.
I do lots of stitching stuff.
Gosh, you must be busy.
Yeah, I
really
don't do
busy.
boredom. I'm allergic to boredom. So.
Yeah, I think we're the same. You've got to have busy hands. Can't just watch television anymore.
No.
It's got to be busy.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Okay.
So if we've got, obviously people are coming to do the retreat course with you, but for anyone that's not on the course that fancied having a go, what are your tips, or have you got any resources you could point them at?
Yeah, so the website is www.beakerbutton.co.uk, and
I'll link that down below.
I do lots of kits. I do a tutorial online. There's loads of books. There's classes and things as well at the shop, and there are people teaching classes all over the country. Quite often they're people who've learnt themselves from somebody like me, and they're teaching their friends, which is great because it gets it out there. The thing to remember is nobody's born making buttons, so it takes a few to get good, and it's having the patience. The other thing I get asked a lot is, why is my button not central? Because none of them are. No Dorset button is ever 100% bang in the middle.
Okay.
It's getting the spokes right and getting your stitching right, and that takes practice. So really it's just about practicing and taking it easy. And go for something like a 4-ply sock yarn, because it's really forgiving. It doesn't tangle very much. It makes brilliant buttons because they wear really well. Sock yarn's great for kind of wearing, really. It's designed for it. You get lots of nice colours and things as well, and it washes too, so you get washable buttons.
And I suppose you can use your scraps. We've all got jars of scraps, because how much sort of, you can see you're wearing your beautiful
so
necklace
something
of it.
like this, one of those little buttons there, you can see it, is they're about just under 2 centimetres, and it'll take about 150 centimetres 150 one of them and one of them, so whatever, 1.5 metres.
Oh, okay.
I'm going through the menopause, so I'm absolutely rubbish with anything like numbers.
That's fine.
All that kind of stuff.
I'm exhausted, so it's fine. So it really is a great stash buster. And it would be perfect if you wanted absolutely spot on matching buttons.
So when you're making cardigans and things like that, you can use the same wool, because you can pretty much use anything to make Dorset buttons with. You need a closed frame, so a ring of some description, doesn't even have to be round. I've got heart-shaped rings and square rings and all sorts of other bits, as long as it's a closed circuit effectively. And then thread-wise, anything that's strong enough to pull tight, so cotton perle, crochet cotton, string, anything that's like that. I mean, the one up behind here is a right old mixture of
that's fabulous.
And things, so
this
is my favourite
I was going to say, that was my next question, your favourite things on the stand. I'm going to try and move my thing. So give us a chat about this. So this is a decorative piece.
So most of what I make, I'm making with an idea that other people can then make it as well. And that one was just for me to show off and say, look how clever you can be. So it's taken me months, because I don't get a lot of chance to work just on stuff for me. It's the base is a hula hoop.
Oh, fun.
And it's got my hand spun around the outside. There's some Noro in there. There's some Lala with Love sari ribbon yarn. There's all sorts. There's a right old mixture of stuff. And over the next few months, I'll add some decorations to it. So it's got a little tiny owl in the corner there. It's going to have toadstools on it made out of Dorset buttons. It's going to have flowers made out of Dorset buttons. That's lovely. And it's going to get really blinged up. So. But it's a work in progress. And what's nice is I can just keep adding to it until I think, that's done. And then I'll work on the next one.
So. I love the idea of being able to use precious scraps from things. Yarns that people have given you, or
bits
purchases like souvenirs, and you've got the last couple of ends of bits of yarn that are too precious. And that could be a really special thing. A decorative piece like that would be lovely.
I mean, something like that. So nice bracelet.
Oh, give them a close up.
So
the camera's just there.
This one is one of my kits, but it takes about 20 metres of thread. So even the really tiny mini skeins that you're buying around the show today, one of those will do you a bracelet.
Would be
you just need a few rings. And the nice thing about Dorset buttons is they're dirt cheap to make. So once you've learnt the skills, it takes a very small amount of thread, 1 or 2 rings, got a couple of nice buttons, and they're perfect buttons. They look gorgeous.
They
match what you're wanting, or they contrast beautifully with what you're wanting. And they're really therapeutic to make. They're really good fun.
I bought a kit from you last year, and I must confess I've not yet made it up.
Sometimes you need a project to do, so the next time you do a cardigan, you'll make your Dorset
We've got
buttons.
a project. Jennie is just off camera, and she bought some purple sort of canvas fabric for us to make aprons for shows. Because we've got money belts, but they're a bit uncomfortable, aren't they? So
you spend all your time doing that.
We're going to make big aprons, and I want to make the Dorset buttons up to go where the straps meet at the top. So I'm going to have 2. So my kit's got 5, so I'm going to practice on 3, and I'm going to do 2 lovely ones.
And everyone will comment on how nice your buttons are.
They are.
They always do.
Are. Maybe I should say on screen, I'm going to try and get that done for the retreat.
And I'll be watching.
I can do that by October. It'll be fine.
If I'm teaching, it takes an hour to do a sort of 2.5 centimetre button. By the time I've had them for a day, they're knocking them out in about 20 minutes, and I can make one in about 10.
Oh, really?
So they really don't take very long. So
no
excuses.
No excuses. Well, the last thing I wanted you to show us is, what's your other favourite item? Because you've got so many lovely things. You've got kits, you've got badges,
so at the moment, it's my pirate boot sock kit, which is here, which I'm actually wearing a pair of, but I don't know that you can see.
Can I have a look?
And it comes with all the wool, it comes with your pattern, and obviously all your button making instructions and your button making stuff. All you need is your knitting needles.
So if you see, they've got Dorset buttons as decoration on the cuff.
And I'll try and insert a picture here. And then they'll be able to see. Oh, so that's everything you need.
Yeah. And what's nice about them is you can wear them folded down, so they're great with trousers and things. So if you're going out walking, you can fold the tops up and the buttons do up either way. So they're practical as well. So they're really clever. Because I like buttons as decoration, but I usually want to make them work. They need to have a job. They get bored otherwise.
Brilliant. Oh, well, thank you so much for sparing me some time. I know it's a bit frantic just before show opening. In fact, it might already be open. No, we've got 10 minutes. We're all right.
So I've got time to whip round and find something.
You have. You've got plenty of time. So I'll put links to all of your things down below, and you'll be having a stand at the retreat as well. So anyone that doesn't make
books and stuff as
the classes, you can pick up a little something from Jen at the marketplace on the Sunday. Well, have a fabulous day, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I am here with Emma from Folky Felt. It's very nearly the end of day 2 at Wonderwall.
Yes.
I can't feel my face. How about you?
Can't feel my feet.
It's so cold. But we've got about 20 minutes left, so I think we can struggle through.
Yeah,
so could you just give the viewers a quick introduction to you and Folky Felt?
Okay, so I'm Emma of Folky Felt, and I hand make all my felt, needle felting and wet felting with local fleece from lovely friends who card the wool for me and hand dye it. And I run lots of workshops and exhibitions, and that's how I'm trying to get everyone addicted to felting like I am.
Take them down one person at a time.
Yes.
Excellent. And how did you get into felting? Because it's not always been your main occupation.
I was a printmaker and photographer originally.
Oh, okay, so always creative.
Yes, but then 6 years ago I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was at home a bit bored because I can't knit, unfortunately.
Can you not?
No, perhaps that's something I need to learn.
Not yet. I can help you with
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So I was a bit too tired to read and watch films, and a friend of mine suggested needle felting, and I had no clue what it was. But I bought some materials and tried it out and completely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Made some very strange blobs to start with because I was teaching myself, unrecognisable. But eventually they started to look like they were supposed to, and that's when people started asking me to run workshops.
Okay.
And I was already a qualified tutor, so it kind of made sense.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I've gone from teaching literacy to felt making.
Oh, brilliant.
Much more fun.
Because the nice thing about needle felting is it's not, if you just want to have a go, if you're not sure if it's for you, it's little bits and pieces of things, you know, and you can just have a bash.
Yeah, it's really easy to pick up. The techniques are really easy.
Yeah.
And then it's how far you want to take it then is whether you practice to make things better and better.
Yeah. Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
So if people are not on your workshops at the retreat, but they do fancy having a go, have you got any tips or tricks or resources that you could send people towards?
Yeah, I've got on my website, you can order kits if you want to.
Fabulous.
And they've got all the lovely local hand-dyed wool in them, and really nice quality needles and things like that, so it's a good starter. And there's loads of instructions and photographs on my website as well.
You've got tutorials on there as well?
Yeah.
And what's your website?
It's www.folkyfelt.com.
That's
There's 4
double
F's in there.
I will leave links down below so you can always click on those as well.
Yeah.
And you've got a little bit of needle felting on the go. Do you want to wave it at the camera's that size so people
just
can
making
see?
a little hair brooch. So she's got one ear at the moment.
One ear.
But I'm going to felt the other ear in here and then put a little brooch back on there. So
it's interesting to see the needle, is it?
Absolutely. Yeah, they've got tiny little barbs at the end.
Oh, they do.
So some people think I'm just pushing a sewing needle through it, but
I don't know if you'll be able to see.
they're really minute.
Absolutely tiny. I assumed they were smooth.
No, so those teeth are what do the magic basically. As you push it through the wool, they're sort of matting and fusing all the fibres together.
Okay.
And once they're condensed, you can then sculpt the shape that you like.
And just as a health and safety perspective, presumably you recommend not doing it whilst holding it in your other hand.
Don't do it like I am.
Fair enough. Yeah. Just wanted to check.
Yeah, normally you have a foam pad underneath, and then you push the foot onto that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what's in my kit. It's a safe version.
Yeah.
Yes. So don't do what your teacher says.
Yeah. So how do you find your inspiration for things? You know, because I'm a bit of an instruction follower.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean. So the idea of just being given a handful of materials and what do you want to make, I'd be like.
Well, it comes from different ways, really. I mean, I live in the Brecon Beacons, which is amazingly inspirational. You get a different view every day.
You ride, don't you?
I do.
Horse riding.
So I sometimes get really up close with buzzards flying past. Also, it's beautiful. Sometimes I get the wool and I get the inspiration from the colours.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like with my frames, I get given things or I pick things up from flea markets, and that's they say we need a hare in us or we need a badger. It's a bit weird, but that's what happens.
It happens. It's mid-Wales.
Yes. So sometimes it's the resources I have that suggest things, and other times I'll have an idea of what I want to make, and then I'll go out and find the right colour.
Find those things.
So it can work both ways, really.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I suppose inspiration is everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
And for knitters, how can we incorporate needle felting into our work?
Well, I think like you've got a lovely scarf on, so if you had a little felted brooch, you could perhaps accessorise with things like that, or you could clip. If you were doing a nice shawl, you could use it to clip that together as well.
Oh yes, shawl pin
and also if you've got if you had a repair in your cardigan or something, there's a little hole, you could felt directly onto it because all wool fuses into itself. So
that would be good. Tie into the visible mending.
And actually, yarns that have already been spun, you can felt those into things as well. It doesn't have to be roving.
Oh, okay.
So as long as it's woolly.
Small pause.
Yes, nice announcements for us.
Yeah, my apologies for that. There was a loud tannoy announcement and we've somewhat lost our thread. Okay, so just let's finish with your favourite 2 things. What's your favourite 2 things on the stand?
Well, I kind of love them all, but I've got a sort of story about some of them, which I think is one of my favourite things. So the hare and the badger, I don't know if you can see those, they're in there. At the last show I was at in Teddington, 2 ladies were chatting about them, and they said that they reminded them of the demons out of Philip Pullman's Book of Dust, which was really exciting because I love his books.
Yeah, I've read them too.
So I was like, excitedly squealing in the corner. So I think that's one favourite thing. And the other would be my kits, because they've sold out this weekend, which is amazing, because that means more people are going off to love wool. I've got kits which are good for all sorts of levels.
Excellent. And you've got one with us, so we can give them a quick peek inside.
In each kit is lots of lovely natural colour fleeces. So this is for a fox, so you've got nice white bread there. And there's a lovely little pad. There's a needle, which looks like this, with a handle on, which is really nice, because I didn't know there were handles when I first started.
I've only seen the really thin ones.
So you can turn that round so the needle sits inside the handle when you're not using it.
Excellent.
And then you've got all the lovely colours, and my card, which has got all the website and Facebook and everything on, plus all the instructions are on the website.
Fabulous.
So if you wanted to start that off, you could take that home and go for it today.
And you're going to be selling at the marketplace as well?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm going to bring lots of lovely things with me, from small to big. Lots of lovely gifts and also lots of lovely kits.
Excellent. So if you're at the retreat, you can come and buy from her there or check the website. And the marketplace is open to non-retreat people as well. So I'm really hoping we can get some local people in as well. And you teach often in Cardiff. You come down to the gate. Is it the gate you come to, or is it the Globe?
I've done Chapter Art Centre at the moment.
Okay.
I've got doing one a month there at the moment as well.
Excellent.
So I'll be telling everyone that comes to that to come to the retreat.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sparing me some time.
That's fantastic.
I'm sure you're desperate to pack up and go somewhere warmer.
More coffee, I think, is needed.
I think we might be doing the same. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
to see you.
We will see you soon.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I thought they came out rather well, given that everyone was new at doing them. So,
and nervous and in the middle of a show.
And very cold as well.
It was, wasn't it? I'd forgotten that.
Okay, next up, drum roll please. Vendor announcement! Woo! Felt like Garfield then. You know when he throws his head all the way back? Yes. So we've been teasing you all for ages about who was going to be selling at the marketplace, which is Sunday afternoon.
Open to the public.
Also open to the public. And we thought we'd just let it all out.
Yes.
So we have 10 wonderful vendors, and
it's gonna be so lush.
Yeah, we'll give you a quick run through of what they sell, and again, all of their details are linked down below, so please do go and have a look. There's so much lovely stuff, isn't there?
Go and have a good stalk so you know what to expect when you get there and how many pennies to save up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they pretty much all sell online as well, so if you had a bit of extra money in advance, you know, why not? And also, I'm going to be getting in touch with all of these lovely people to ask them to take over our Knit Tea Retreat Instagram account for a bit. So we'll be popping up some pictures of the different sorts of things that they sell so that everyone can see all the goodness.
Yeah.
I know. I just hope we have time to do some shopping, because you're going to be on the Owl About Yarn stand and I will be marshalling our children for beverages. Anyway.
I think we should allot at least 10 minutes before we let everybody else in. I mean, if we can't have that advantage, then what's the point of us actually running it? Yeah.
Right. In no particular order, our first vendor is the fabulous Debbie of Down Sheepy Lane.
Oh, I love Debbie.
Yeah,
she's
Debbie.
so lovely.
And she contributed a prize to one of the earlier knit-alongs as well. So you can find her on Etsy. And again, there's links down below. And she is at Down Sheepy Lane on Instagram. And she is an indie yarn dyer. And her colourways, she does quite a lot of themes. So I know she's had some, I think she's had some Game of Thrones. And
she contributed to the Flower Power Fund, didn't she?
Yes, to raise money for Macmillan Cancer Care. Is it Macmillan or is it
Marie Curie? I think it's Marie Curie.
I think it's Marie Curie. And she specialises in quite complex colourways, I'd say. There's a lot of layers to them.
Yeah. And
she also does some lovely ranges of pastels, sort of lighter colourways as well.
Yes, because I wanted to steal the yarn, didn't I, when she sent the set?
We both wanted to steal the yarn when she sent the set. We've still got the minis she sent us though.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're very excited to have Debbie selling. She's only done one show so far. Nottingham was her first. She will be at Yarningham next month, so we're going to go and say hello. So yes, we're super pleased that she's going to come and sell at our marketplace. Number 2.
Oh, she did video bomb us in Edinburgh, didn't she? Did that make it into the vlog? Yeah.
Yeah, she made the final cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
And number 2.
Da, 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 da. The lovely Ange from Yarn and Yarns, which is about as close to a local yarn shop as we've got.
Yeah, just the next town over.
Yeah. It's a lovely little shop, isn't it?
It is really nice. She has an Instagram account. She is at Yarn and Yarns and at Rainbow Ange for her personal one. She does have a website, but you can't buy online, but she will totally post you anything you want. So do go and have a look. I'm not 100% sure what she's going to be bringing to the show, but she does sell in her shop some local indie dyed yarn and some locally produced Welsh yarn. I can't remember the name of any of them. Ange, if you're watching, chuck it, leave a comment. So some really nice local yarn, and she also stocks West Yorkshire spinners, lots of Rowan, opal, sock yarn. So I'm very excited to see what she brings actually.
Aren't we due a visit to go and see Ange soon?
Yes, Ange, we're going to come and see you, and we're going to bring cake.
Ooh, are we?
Yes, definitely. We'll have earned it by that point.
We're both dieting, so that's more exciting than it would usually be.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to let you talk about number 3 because you're a bit more familiar with her. You know her.
Number 3 is our first abroad vendor.
Yes.
Coming all the way from Holland.
International.
I know. It's just yes. Anyway, Caroline of Colourful Creativity by Kralalian. I'm sorry, Caroline. Kralalian. Does it rhyme with your name? And she is an indie dyer, but she also does glass work and lamp work. Is it with the blowtorch and the melting?
I didn't know
and
that.
Yeah.
So she does stitch markers with that, does she? Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and they're beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Which she was on the Geeky Puffin Knitpalooza retreat with me. That's where I met her. And she put stitch markers into the goodie bags and she'd made like a glass bead. Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, that does sound nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, she's on Instagram as at Kralalian. Sorry. We tried.
And she does collaborations with Petra from Undercover Otter. They did an advent calendar last year. I seem to remember, which went down really well.
And her yarn is quite bright, isn't it? Yeah, really bright, strong colours. We've mentioned Beaker Button and Folky Felt, of course, previously, as they're our tutors, but they will also be having a stand at the marketplace, so that's fabulous. They've got some kits and some materials for needle felting and Dorset button making as well. So again, if you're not attending those particular workshops, but you do fancy having a go, then, you know, make sure you make a beeline for those stands. And because of the interviews that I just had previously with them, they do show some of the little kits and things. And again, they have online presence as well, so you can always buy direct from them. Also, Anakin Alice, she's one of our tutors, and she also has a stand. We bumped into her at Yarndale, didn't we?
Yes, with all her lovely patterns and the yarns to go with some of them, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of choice on her stall for, as I say, patterns especially, I think. Yeah,
she has quite a lot of kits because she has so many patterns. I don't think she ever sleeps. The number of patterns she produces, that woman, it's incredible. So she has quite a few commercial yarn packs to make the kits. And she also is a supplier. I can't remember the name of the brand. Beautiful silver work shawl pins.
Yes, I really want a really nice.
Really nice and light, because some shawl pins sort of drag. And
that might be my purchase.
Might it? Yes. So yeah, Anakin Alice.
You can talk about the next one.
The next one is, of course, Owl About Yarn.
Who's that?
That's you, that is.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. So
is she any good?
She's pretty good, yeah. So Jennie will be having a stand as well. And I think when we were putting up the layouts, we decided we'd put you next to the kitchen, nearest to the tea urns, so that you could have a steady supply of hot beverages, and also keep an eye on my children who would be possibly making tea for other vendors.
Yeah.
So you all have a stand there, all of your yarn, all of your bags, stitch markers, fibre. Do you think you might take fibre?
I'm going to have a table.
We'll see.
How much do you think I can fit? I mean, I know it's a tall haul.
Yeah,
I would have to go up.
Bit like Sports Direct, where if you want a t-shirt that's 20 foot off the floor.
I'll bring one of those hooks. Yeah. You can hook it off. Yeah. Okay.
And if I'm very nice to her, she might also sell some of my patterns for me there as well.
I dare say I might manage that.
Yeah, find me a little corner. Sorry. Again, when we were at Wonderwall, we met the very lovely Richard and Jane of Shaston Boxes. Now, they don't have a website. They have a Facebook page. So search for them on Facebook. And they are at Shaston Boxes on Instagram. Really nice husband and wife. And Richard makes the most beautiful wooden boxes. Now, I know nothing about woodwork, so they're not turned. I don't think it's made on a lathe, but just,
no, isn't it shaker style?
Yes, that's it.
And it's I think, don't they soak the wood and then it bends because it's pliable when it's soaked? Beautiful. He brought some samples to show us at the stall, and they are stunning.
They are beautifully simple.
Didn't he have darning mushrooms and things?
Oh yes, he did as well. Yeah, really nice darning mushrooms.
So there were some turned things.
Yeah.
There.
But yeah, really, really beautiful boxes. And all of our vendors are contributing a prize to the door prizes as well. So he showed us a little shaker box, sort of this big, that would be perfect for like an Oceans box and things. So yeah, it was really lovely to meet them. And their work is gorgeous, and they sell quite a few. They have quite a few stands at various shows around the place. So that will be. I'm definitely making a beeline for that. My dad and Dave both like woodworking.
Yeah.
So if I can find them a little doohickey, that would be really good.
Buy Dave a darning mushroom for his socks.
He just needs to cut his damn toenails, and then I'd have less darning.
Yeah.
Liz of Ananuka. She was at Wonderwall as well.
She was.
Basically, everybody was at Wonderwall.
Yeah, everybody who's anybody is at Wonderwall. It's the place to be. Yes. And she won best stand for her size of stand at Wonderwall as well.
Did she? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she had a rosette and everything.
Blimey.
Very jealous.
That's official.
But she does lots of weaving type things. She had lots of kits for, when you do weavings in a frame and it goes on the wall. And
yeah, it's sort of art pieces rather than weaving fabric to use.
So with art yarns and things like that, and different textured things that went in with it as well. So something I've never tried.
And she imports yarn. I'm sorry, I should have looked this up in advance. I want to say from Chile.
Yeah, South America.
South America.
Chile or Peru.
So some really nice, different things.
Mm. And she's very eco-conscious as well.
Yeah.
She's been moving to all paper packaging and yeah.
So no, we're thrilled to have her as well. And last but not least is Emma of Eldenwood Craft.
Of the bags,
the prize bag. And she's a bag maker. That's all she does, but goodness me, she does it well.
Oh yeah,
absolutely stunning thing. Really nice fabrics.
Yeah.
So she
really
will
high
be
quality.
She will be having a stand as well. So there you go. There are all our vendors. I will be getting in touch with them, as I mentioned, to get some pictures up on Instagram so you can all have a good look at what you can purchase on the afternoon of the marketplace. And again, as Jennie said, it is open to the public. So if you happen to be watching but can't make the workshops, by all means come along to the marketplace.
Before we do the next bit, just in case you can cut this out, are we talking about the cafe visit that we did?
Yes, we can do. So if we do the cafe visit next,
yeah,
and then end with the next summer's retreat.
Yes.
And it was Keris at the cafe.
Kellen.
Okay. Right, you talk about the cafe visit then.
We did another site visit a couple of weeks back.
We did.
And we visited the cafe at Insole Court to have a word with Kellen, the lovely baker, and is she the owner, would you say?
She's the owner, and she has a chef as well.
Yes. So we visited her to find out what sort of things she could offer and whether we might be able to offer some sort of lunch menu that could be booked in advance for our attendees.
Yeah.
Because we thought it might be easier, rather than everybody swamping them at 1 o'clock and needing food, if we could offer the option of some sort of tick box menu to be ordered first thing in the morning, and then you could just go and pick it up at lunchtime.
Yeah. The cafe is just the other side of the courtyard to where we'll be having all of the workshops. And so what she's going to do is put together a couple of menu options, sort of from just a sandwich all the way up to some sort of hot stew or soup. And then when you all arrive in the morning, anyone that's interested in pre-ordering their lunch for the Saturday and the Sunday, it'll just be ticky boxes on a slip, which we'll give to Kellen, and then she will get it all sorted. And at lunchtime you can nip out, pay, grab your food, in and out. Super tasty stuff.
Sorry, my phone was ringing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she does vegetarian, she does vegan, she does gluten-free.
She does cake that look amazing.
She does amazing. We have tried the cake and it is lush. We should try more of the cake just to get a suitably large sample size.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I put a picture of her up on the Instagram account as well. Really nice lady. So again, she's going to be firing us over some menus and some prices. So when we have that, we will make sure that we put that up on our website and let you know, so that you can just see in advance what the options are. We did ask all the attendees to let us know of any allergies or issues that they have, and several of you have done that. But if anyone forgot, or if anyone has discovered a new and unexpected allergy...
Any undeclared, please declare.
Yeah, do make sure, because they can absolutely cater for that.
Yes, and I mean, we'll be providing some biscuits and such like as well, won't we?
Yeah.
So if we know about your allergies, we can do our very best to accommodate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that should be really good. I'm looking forward to seeing what she comes up with, actually.
I know, she seemed to have some... She obviously was having some ideas as we were talking about it, because she was saying, oh, well, I have a nice soup, I have a tagine, I have a this, I have a that. And
the tagine sounded nice, actually.
So it sounded good. And it just saves you having to either bring something in yourself or wander off and find something if you've got back-to-back classes morning and afternoon.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be a range of menu options and a range of prices as well, so we'll keep you up to date with all of that. Do we need to do another drum roll tooty announcement?
Yes.
Go for it. Go on then, you say.
We have booked a venue for the second Knit Tea retreat. It's not going to be a one-off.
No.
There's going to be more. There are going to be more. And we're so excited.
Super excited.
And so, Cardiff is where we're based.
Yeah.
Although she always says, oh, Very Island. It's near enough. You're near enough to be classed as Cardiff.
I'm on an island. It's totally its own place.
But Cardiff is where we live.
Yeah.
But Zoe comes from Stratford-upon-Avon.
I do.
Originally. And we thought, or you thought, and persuaded me, that would be a really good place to have a retreat because it's so central.
Yeah.
And so we had a very lovely day back in February.
Oh, it was never
Half
February, was
term?
it? Gosh, it might have been, yeah.
February half term. Yeah, because you'd gone up with the kids to visit your mum.
Yes, and we left them with my father for the day. My
Yes.
mum and dad still live in Stratford, so that's another reason why it's a nice base for us.
Yeah. We had a lovely day going around lots of different venues in Stratford and having a look at them all.
Yes,
And we've found a venue
we have.
and it's proper lush.
It's beautiful.
Talking as a local Cardiff person, is proper lush. And we've booked it!
We've booked it!
So there will be another Knit Tea retreat on the 1st and 2nd of June 2019
Yes.
in Stratford-upon-Avon.
Absolutely.
So mark your calendars. Look at this.
So
This isn't
excited.
going away.
We felt
Seriously.
a bit worried about booking a second one before we'd even done the first one. But you guys have just been so excited, and there were so many people that couldn't get a place, and
Or we've heard about it since the booking process. And
Yeah.
like, oh, I would have loved to.
I really love, and you know, some that can't quite make South Wales, and we just thought, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. We will be doing, in the same way that we did sort of little mini reveals for October's retreat, we'll be doing the same process for the summer one, but you know the date, 1st and 2nd of June 2019. It will be in Stratford-upon-Avon in the Midlands, which is 2 hours from London on the train. It's pretty much 2 to 2.5 hours from almost everywhere in England and South Wales.
Is East Midlands Airport the nearest?
Yes.
How long is it from there?
90 minutes.
Oh, okay, not
So
so
not,
bad.
not so bad.
Would there be public transport? I'm just thinking. On
I'm
behalf
pretty
of
sure,
people,
yeah.
People coming in from.
Yeah, it's just south of,
Further
Stratford's
places.
south of Birmingham, which has great links, and there's a train station and bus stations. And Stratford, because of its, it's famous for being the birthplace of Shakespeare. So there is so much lovely accommodation all the way from sort of hostel, bed and breakfast. It's got Premier
Hospital.
Inns, it's got fancy hotels.
Yes.
So the other reason we thought it would be a lovely venue is that quite a few people are bringing their partners in October, although they're not attending the retreats. They're just coming to enjoy Cardiff. And Stratford is another beautiful place to visit, so it would work out really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful on its own, but there's so much within reach of it, isn't there, as well?
Yeah.
So, as I say, we've booked the venue.
I know.
We got our first choice venue, and we're just like...
Yeah, we looked around probably 5,
Yeah.
and there was 1 or 2 that we were like, no, definitely not. But there were several that would have been lovely.
Yes.
And although this was our number 1, we were like, oh, there's no way. It's going to be, astonishingly, eye-wateringly expensive. But it turns out it was just perfect in the end. We do have plans for parts of the retreat, which we can't announce yet. But it is going to be a different retreat. The Cardiff one, our plan is the Cardiff retreat, which we hope to do every single year. We've also rebooked
Yes.
in Seoul Court for October 2019. And we're going to keep the Cardiff retreats as workshop based.
Yes.
So as a learning environment, although also with lots of fun.
Well, the venue is just perfect for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
With all the little rooms.
It's all set
everywhere
up for
else,
it.
Yeah.
And we're going to make the Stratford retreats feel like a 2-day knit night. That's the plan. So there won't be workshops. There will be other fun stuff to do though, which we will get to a bit closer.
And to be honest, because we've told people about this at the last couple of shows now.
Yeah.
All we've had to say is weekend long knit night, and people are like, yep, I'm there.
Yeah. We
Live
can
for that,
guarantee tea on tap And cake, of course. That goes without saying.
Yeah, that's a booking condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you missed out on the Cardiff one, or if you just couldn't face travelling that far, please check down below, find the link to the Knit Tea Retreat newsletter and get yourself signed up, because we know how much you guys appreciated having a full 12 months lead up to the October retreat, and we're not going to be quite manage a full year.
We'll probably get 11 months.
We'll probably get 11 months notice of it for you.
We're hoping to start the booking process by the beginning of July, I think.
Yeah. It's just the way that things have fallen for us personally with shows and work.
It's been ridiculously busy, hasn't it? We haven't stopped since March,
we booked the venue over a month ago, and we just haven't been able to get together to get this podcast done and everything. So yes, a second Knit Tea Retreat in Stratford-upon-Avon, 1st and 2nd of June 2019.
We're expanding.
We're
this
expanding.
year Cardiff, next year Stratford, 2020 the world.
The world. Would you like a Knit Tea Retreat near you? So yeah, do sign yourself up, and we're super excited to be bringing a second venue to the retreat calendar. Well,
so exciting.
Well, I think we're going to end it there on a high note.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's time for more tea anyway. I'm getting a bit parched.
It's lunchtime actually. It's past 12 o'clock. So thank you very much for watching. Please check the down bar below for links. Do go and have a look at all of our vendors' websites. Give them a like, follow them on Instagram.
Don't forget to add your projects in the Ravelry group and
Yes.
keep up to date with posting pictures. Let us know how the progress is going. Let me know how many of you have finished your Angleus Novuses before me.
You should be knitting balls, like me.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
But I'm always overly optimistic with these things.
You're ambitious, that's good.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give us a thumbs up, click subscribe, and we will be back in about another 6 weeks, give or take. For the end of the knit along and prize announcements and the start of the next one.
Yes. And tell your friends about us.
Yes. Spread the news. Fab. All right, well, we will see you soon.
Take care. Happy knitting.
Bye.
Bye.